In this segment, I'd like to talk about the value of static stretching. Some of you may have read that there is some conflicting research about the value of static stretching of your muscles right before you engage in a sport or a high-level activity versus not doing that. There was some research that came out a couple of years ago that said too much stretching right before your sport will decrease performance, and there was just recently, a couple of weeks ago, some research that was published in the New York Times that said the opposite. And I'm sure you guys are frustrated because you'll often see conflicting research that has conflicting results and you can't quite decide what you should do. I think the key to it is to listen to your own body. You guys should engage in stretching and decide how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel more energetic? Does it improve your range of motion? Does it take that tricky joint that doesn't seem like it wants to constantly move very well and make it move better? There are certain physiological things that happen when you do stretch, and by static stretch, I mean you're holding a stretch for 20, 30 seconds, a minute, where you're keeping a muscle and all of its connective tissue in a prolonged held stretch. What is the value to that? And today I'd like to review what actually happens when you do a static stretch and how it might be beneficial for you. And then from there you should decide how it makes you feel and whether it seems to be of any value to you. Now let's take a look at what happens when we do a static stretch. This blue band is going to represent the hamstring muscle as it crosses the knee joint and inserts into the calf muscle. We've all probably experienced some type of a knot or tight little sticking point in one of our muscles that we just can't quite make go away. Stretching is an attempt to do that. Whenever you get any type of body work, whether it's a deep tissue massage or myofascial release or acupuncture or just simple stretching, it is an attempt to do just that, to break up all these little constrictors and knots that might exist in our muscles from overwork, poor posture. These things just happen from overuse. Living life tends to develop these little constrictions in certain pockets of our body depending on what we do all day. So if you look at this little knot that exists in this line of tissue, one way to try to get it out, and one way that we can do simply on our own, is to just try to stretch it out. So if we're going to take this leg and stretch it, that just might pop free this little constriction in the band of tissue. Now, Alexandra's going to turn over now, and she's going to stretch our hamstring, and we're going to see if it got rid of that knot. So here is the knot in Alex's calf. It gives her discomfort. Her ankle doesn't really move very well. Her knee doesn't straighten properly when she runs. And we've ascertained that this is the reason why, that there's a tight, constricted part of the muscle behind her calf. And this will be a simple illustration of how sometimes just simple stretching can get that right out. So she's going to stretch her hamstring as it crosses her knee and into her calf and see if she can get that to come right out. And we've heard and felt a little pop in there. That part of the muscle ironed out, and the knot is out of the calf. So this is a simple illustration. Not all muscles stretch out this easily, but sometimes they do. And we've all probably had a tight spot in our muscle, in our hamstring or calf, and after stretching it for a couple of minutes, it feels looser, your ankle moves better, your knee moves better, and you're able to perform better. So that simple illustration is why sometimes static stretching, which Alex is performing right now, is really good for your muscles. It gets rid of little tight constrictions in the muscles, which allow oxygen and circulation and other healing nutrients to enter into the muscular area and heal better and perform better.